This episode is powered by Pod Decks. Pod Decks are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and have more meaningful conversations, you're going to want to check out Pod Decks. Now, if you want to get 10% off your order right now, you can go to poddecks.com and type in coupon code. What's the code?
Larry21.
Yes, that's the code. Check out poddecks.com. Take your podcast to the next level.
Welcome to the Cinema Gold Show. I'm your host, Larry Leese. Today we're diving into the latest box office news, movie news, and streaming news from around the industry. Welcome to the Cinema Gold Show. I'm your host, Larry Leese. Today we're continuing our Classic Rewind with the launch of our Classic Rewind Christmas Edition. Each week we'll be reviewing a movie that we consider a Christmas movie. And today we're beginning with Die Hard. But we'd like to thank our sponsor, Poddex, for sponsoring this episode. You can check them out today at poddecks.com. Use the promo code Larry21 for 10% off your purchase. Poddex are the hottest new tool for podcasters looking to have more meaningful conversations or gamify their podcasts. Simply shuffle up, ask a question, and let the content roll. Get yours today at poddecks.com. And use the code Larry21 for 10% off your order. And before we dive right into our review of Die Hard, let us know in the comment section below. Do you consider that Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes? No? Let us know. It's that time of year again, where we unearth the age-old discussion. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Perhaps a bigger debate than is there life after death, or are boneless wings considered wings? Die Hard has long been considered by certain corners of the world as a Christmas classic. With little focus on Santa, elves, or even the holiday itself, others have deemed it simply an action movie. There's been a lot of talk about this, and some have even broken it down with data in order to generate an answer. Regardless of what you think, this is my review, and within the minuscule corner of the world, my world is law. So for the sake of the season, and because I just want to talk about this movie in general, I hereby decree Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Not only is it a Christmas movie, it's also one of the best action movies ever made, defining a generation and completely changing the landscape of this genre in the process. This is a film that so many wannabes and copycats wish they could be. The tight plot, the witty dialogue, the relatable characters, and just the right amount of cheesy one-liners all make up the dragon that many writers and directors have been chasing for years. Despite their best efforts, Die Hard continues to be copied, but has rarely been truly duplicated. So what makes Die Hard so great? On the night of Christmas Eve, NYPD Detective John Mcclane arrives in Los Angeles for his wife Holly's company Christmas party. Things aren't exactly going too well in their relationship, so John can only hope the spirit of the holiday might help to reconcile their differences. Before John and Holly can truly reach common ground, a group of terrorists, led by German radical Hans Gruber, takes the entire party hostage as they attempt to steal millions in bearer bonds from the company. John is able to slip away and proceeds to lead a one-man war against the thieves, hoping to save the guests, his wife, and inadvertently, Christmas. The character John Mcclane is a unique one, due in part to the unusual casting of Bruce Willis as the lead hero. Now, casting Willis for a role like this might not sound unusual for the seasoned actor, but this wasn't always in the case. Back in the mid-80s, all Willis was really known for was a comedy-drama series, Moonlighting, where he played a wisecracking detective. The ingredients for a prototype John Mcclane were there, but at the time, no one was ready to take Willis seriously as a big action star. At the time, action movie heroes were muscular, larger than life, certified badasses that could take on the world and were seemingly immune to harm. What Willis's Mcclane does is introduce a more relatable, everyday protagonist to a big action set piece. He's capable, but not invincible. He gets battered, bruised, and bloody, running around the tower barefoot, tearing his feet up in the process. All the while, he manages to crack jokes and never lets the towering odds ruin him. Becoming one of the first relatable action heroes, John Mcclane has since shifted away from his humble beginnings in later sequels. But we can never forget how a character like this changed the game for future action protagonists. Of course, no action hero is complete without a formidable bad guy to go up against. Enter Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber. At the time, most well known for his roles on Broadway, he will later go on to portray Severus Snape in the Harry Potter franchise. Rickman stepped into the shoes of the suave, no-nonsense German thief with a considerable amount of poise and pomp. While Gruber doesn't intimidate physically, his cunning nature and willingness to kill meets his goals. Makes him both an entertaining and unsettling villain. Incredibly versatile, Gruber goes from shooting a man in the head nonchalantly to pretending to be an American to buddy up to Mcclane. When he runs into him, it's almost hard not to root for the guy. By his side is a team of henchmen that all feel unique and fill specific roles, such as a hacker or the muscle. Their interactions with Mcclane perfectly elevate the tension, as you feel if he could lose at any moment. Like our hero, the villains feel realized and authentic. Their goals are believable, and their motives make sense. On the outside are the officers of the LAPD trying to make sense of it all, and attempting to do the job that only one man and a wife-beater can pull off. One of the officers is even able to befriend and support Mcclane from the outside via radio. While a separate but hundreds of feet of steel, the relationship humanizes both men and even pays off dramatically in the end. Everyone involved brings their A-game, and thanks to a smart script, this is one of the best action ensembles in history. So you've got the characters, but what about the action elements? You know, the thing the genre is named after? Luckily for us, this film was a product of the 80s, where big budget action set pieces were hitting their peak. Before the days of CGI creating all the action on a computer, filmmakers had to find the most practical way to pull off these death-defying stunts. More often than not, their hard work pays off, and you're left in awe wondering how in the hell they kept from actually killing Bruce Willis. The staging for some of these scenes is mind-boggling, from the elevator to the ventilation shafts to the roof, switching from open to claustrophobic when needed. Everything feels so complete and tight, with very few, if any, leaps in logic or suspensions of disbelief. It's not every day you find an action film so grounded in reality that still manages to feel over the top in all the best ways. The choreography in the fight scenes is brutal, yet still entertaining. The stunts are ridiculous, but believable. If you're looking for the definitive blueprint for a contained action thriller, this is the film you're looking for. The Christmas setting is an interesting one, but pays off in an emotional sense, just as much as it does in an aesthetic sense. John and his wife Holly are going through a bit of separation. The young daughter asks if they'll be together for Christmas, but both are unsure. When Gruber and his cronies roll in and hijack the party, they're also hijacking one of the most magical times of the year. If anything, Christmas Eve could have been the only time where John and Holly could reconcile, because that's just what this holiday does to people. With John left as the only man to fight the bad guys, he inherits the weight of the importance that has been bestowed upon him. His wife and her co-workers' lives are in his hands. In a way, he's not just fighting for their lives, but their love. Could it be that it took a hostage situation to be the perfect outlet for John to prove his love to Holly? It's possible, as this is John's motivation to smile and jest in the face of these odds. But let's remember how we got here. Christmas was going to be what potentially saved their relationship. Without the spirit of the holiday, John and Holly might not stand a chance. So in a weird way, John isn't just fighting to save his wife. He's fighting to save Christmas. Die Hard, in my mind, will always be the perfect action movie. It takes everything I love from the genre and neatly molds it into a work of art that also happens to involve a man rappelling down a skyscraper with a hose tied to him. Its stakes are believable, its characters are enjoyable, and the action is a piece of wonder. It perfectly balances feelings of humor, dread, adrenaline, and hopefulness, with an emotional, victorious, and triumphant ending that feels earned and valid. Die Hard cements itself as an untouchable icon of cinema. If you haven't added this film to your holiday movie rotation, I highly suggest you do. You'd be surprised how much a film where a guy falls 100 stories to his death can really get you into the spirit of the holidays. I don't don't always do this for all the movies, but my rating for Die Hard is 5 out of 5. That's 5 out of 5 C4s to be exact. Let us know in the comment section below. Do you think this is the best Die Hard of the franchise? Do you consider it a Christmas movie? Let us know. And as always, you can find us on all social media platforms. Just search The Cinema Gold Show. And if you want to support the show, buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. Your support helps the channel grow, pay our writers, bring in new hosts. And as always, thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time. You have been watching The Cinema Gold Show. Follow us on Twitter at Cinema Gold Show. Find us on Instagram at The Cinema Gold Show. And on Facebook, facebook.com/The Cinema Gold Show.